Why is it always a fucking shitstorm? Why? Why am I always caught in the middle of a fucking shitstorm? So I'm stuck at my junkyard, waiting for the cleanup crew to get here, so I can explain away why all this otherworldly ichor is all over the place and why someone's drawn a fucking pentagram in the middle of the ground and surrounded it with a Van de Graaff generator and all kinds of mirrors. So we've got to cover that one up. That's going to be fun. I'll explain that later. You know, I'm pretty sure I've still got something wriggling around inside me from whatever the shit it was that I just had to help kill. But everything has gone tits up, pretty much. So, first off, tried to get to my sire in London. Spent loads of Alliance coins, spent time, spent money, spent so much fucking effort to get stopped at the gatepost by a new fucking scourge. Some Nosferatu elder who is scary as fuck. And I know this because I thought I'd try and fight my way out of it. Guy's as strong as I am, and he can fight from within obfuscate. So I can't even see him to hit him, and I can't outmatch him. So I decide, fuck it. This ain't working, and I get dragged before de Montfort. And he's obviously pissed that I'm there, and I try and explain a little bit about why I'm there without giving away too much of the game, and he makes it very clear that I'm not welcome there. He mentions something about Mason Guildford and his beliefs and how I got tracked down, and I have to kind of just skim over what I do and don't know, and it just turns into a staring match. And eventually he tells me to stake myself. And then I'll wake up after having staked myself back in the basement of my haven 2 nights ago. That's it. So, that was a monumental fucking waste of time and effort, but one thing at least I know. De Montfort is not the one who's got a bounty for my blood, because I pretty much handed myself to him on a plate, and he sent me back here without so much as a scratch on me, except for the one he made me give myself. So, de Montfort is probably still part of this conspiracy somewhere or somehow, but he is not the one that wants my blood for whatever mystical purpose it is they want. So, that aside, I get back to the domain and I find Ezekiel, the bourgeois elder who knows my background now and is kind of treating me a little bit like a brother and is actually helping me investigate what happened to me. Someone I actually feel a vague sense of connection to. And he's been talking about praxis. Is it the cleanup crew? No, it's not the cleanup crew. He's been talking about praxis. He's been talking about taking over the domain and being angry at the prince's diablerie. And he's a dick, and it's like, fuck's sake, Ezekiel, you've already told me you've been asleep for such a long time that you've lost a lot of your potency, and your coterie is your young neonates and Ancilla who just, you're going up. And he says he's got the vote of the Primogen Council, and he doesn't. And the prince knows exactly what he's planning. So does Judith Roman. So does Kincaid. So does Grinning Fox. All the others of the city know, and they're not having it. And I'm sitting there thinking, they're going to slaughter them. His little coterie are going to die at the hands of Kincaid, the prince, Roman, and I'm probably going to have to take the prince's side because, fuck, that's the only way I'm surviving that night. So I do the only thing I can do. I try and persuade the prince that his diablerie has made him vulnerable to questioning of his authority. and I try and plead his case, and I throw Malcolm Duvarney under the bus. I call him the ringleader, because Duvarney has been stirring the pot quite a bit. But to be honest, he's not the ringleader. It was Ezekiel all along. But someone needed to be blamed. The prince already hates Duvarney, so I gave him Duvarney. I betrayed all the Brouillard who had come to respect me. I manipulated a toreador into being the linchpin of all of it. And I persuaded a prince to step down. And then the prince decided he was going to nominate me to replace him. So I naturally shit my pants, as much as, I do that anymore, because there's no way I'm going to be accepted as a prince of a city, a 3-year-old kindred. No matter who my lineage says I'm supposed to be, a 3-year-old kindred cannot rule a city. His rule will never go unchallenged. Especially with my hidden little background. How long do you think it would be before the Justicars and the Archons ripped me out of my position and dusted me? So I am thinking that the prince has handed me a death sentence, and Roman and Kincaid intervene on my behalf, and Roman says she'll step up and take the princedom. And I'm sitting here thinking, shit, I've persuaded a prince to step down. I've framed another person for the crimes of a different coterie. I've betrayed my bourgeois brothers and betrayed them in such a way that later I was able to persuade them that I'd saved their lives. And now I'm going to be sheriff of the city. I guess I'm more Ventrue than I thought I was. I guess in your blood, there's something in your blood that you just can't avoid. So, I manipulated, I schemed, I plotted, and then the prince, as his final act before he stood down, asked to execute Duvarney. And I almost managed it. I had my claws right at his throat. He was already on his knees with a gaping wound in his back, and Judith Roman intervened and asked for mercy. And I instead had to stake him, and I was kind of relieved, because I thought, I don't really want that on my conscience. I don't really want to be the guy that threw an innocent kindred under the bus to save the life of another kindred because he's more useful to me. And that's when I realised this is my blood, this is my nature. I am Ventrue. I might have this trace of Brouillard blood that makes me think I'm some kind of anarch or rebel, but I'm not. I play the game. I'm playing the fucking game. I'm part of the jihad, and I'm riding the wave of it. What the hell, man? Where the hell did this come from? So, I'm then asked, after all of this transition of shit has gone by, I'm then asked by Grinning Fox if I can go and help him defeat some eldritch creature from the Deep Umber. I don't know what that means. I don't know what an eldritch creature from the Deep Umber means, but quite frankly, going and hitting something alien and weird seemed like a nice break from all the shit that I had to watch unfurled around me, most of which I think I was responsible for. So, we go to this junkyard, where I am right now. We summon, first of all, we have to fight some kindred who has 3 eyes. I don't know what that's all about. Nobody explained it to me. But, I'm through asking questions today. Every time I open my mouth to ask a question, something seems to be implied by it, and someone seems to die, or someone loses their princedom. So I just fought this weird, mystical, demon hunter kindred with 3 eyes and some kind of magic sword, which the prince stole. So the former prince, what I call the artist formerly known as the prince, I don't know. Lucius, my clanmate, Mordecai Lucius, stole the magic sword because he likes swords, and quite frankly, he can have it. That's something that traps the soul of the innocent, seems to be something I don't think I really want to have on board with me. And then after you killed him, it summoned this horrible looking tentacle worm beast that made spiders whenever you tried to hit it, and these spiders then vomited some sort of like infection into you that then burst out of your chest as a tentacle. It was a mess. It was a fucking mess. Another shirt gone, disintegrated, load of fucking damage to my suit. And the worst thing is, where am I going to get my suit repaired now? Duvarney has been officially declared a traitor, because it turns out, as I come back from this monstrous fight covered in ichor and dripping with slime, it turns out that Duvarney was an infernalist, and I've got video footage to prove it. As Kincaid apparently went to execute Duvarney, and Duvarney disappeared in green flame, which I've seen before in New York with another infernalist. So the motherfucker that I framed, that I thought was some innocent victim, was probably the fucking Machiavellian mastermind behind all this shit the whole time. Is that supposed to make me feel better? Am I supposed to feel better because I didn't know he was an infernalist when I framed him? I didn't know he was evil, serving some dark lord or purpose, and I can't claim I did, so that doesn't make it any easier to make my conscience. But at least it vilifies me in the eyes of Ezekiel and his bourgeois, who seem to feel they owe me some kind of debt now, which I don't understand. But I guess that's just how kindred politics works. So, and the latest development, the new Baron of Hertford is my bourgeois sire, Gillette. Gillette, which obviously some fucking pseudonym, is now Baron of Hertford. And his claim to the barony of Hertford is a little tenuous, because he doesn't have the head of the former Baron, who's a Ventru, who is Regina King, who is the childer of William King, the prince that fucked up the whole of New England 20 years ago, 200 years ago, or whatever. And I happen to know where she is. I happen to have her traced through a favour owed to me by the Malkavian operators. I have a cell phone tracking her exact location. So, I've got to face my fucking demons. I got to face the man who made me what I am today. The murderer killed Gus. Murdered the only thing I ever cared about. And I've got to talk to him. And listen to him. And barter with him. Like we're some kind of allies with a mutual enemy. Because he is the only way to find out where this conspiracy leads. And who the fuck it was that orchestrated this whole event against me, against Mithras. And he's a puzzle piece. And if I do what I want to do and kill him, I'm never going to know. So I've got to swallow my pride. I've got to suppress the nightmares that I've had of this man every night of my own life. And I've got to face him. Because I've got to know what he knows. Or the trail goes cold right here. And somehow, that is scarier than any eldritch horror abomination that I had to kill, than any dark political intrigue, because that's facing the monster in here and having to shake its hand and play its game. Let's hope I'm strong enough to do that.